daughter. This is Levi Ammerman, your son. It's like, you don't do that. You just don't do that. Does anybody know what no-touch torture is? Do you know what a broadcast is through the air? Somebody was calling it untouched torture. 7 years every day. The V2K program has not stopped for me for over 2,700 days. 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's the same 4 voices that they morph. Now, what on God's great earth did I ever do to deserve to be tortured for 7 years? Be defamed? Orders of protections? What? That just seems very bizarre to me. I seen Tim Bliss in the grocery store the other day. It was really nice to see him. He looks really good. Katie Anderson, she was there. That's another one. They said Carrie Anderson Nosbush was the one that did this to me. She's been doing it to me my whole life, ruining my whole entire family. No. I am sorry, but this thing was hired. Oh. I'm getting a booth at the fair this year, the county fair, to bring awareness about human trafficking and bullying and things like that. No-touch torture, do weapons, broadcast, gang stalking. And I know everybody. You know, I posted Saturday night, they did a D2K to me, which was horrible. That's the most horrible thing, when they induce dreams to stress you out in your sleep. Oh, my eyes I got scars everywhere. If you would look at it and be like, oh, that's just age and stuff. You know, I show my best friend what's going on. When it starts to happen, you can see the welts from the whatever. It's bizarre. You know, they sit there and keep saying it's Mary Lou, Ashley's grandmother. No. For one, you don't say first names and last names. You don't say this, you don't say that. It's a game. It's a psychological warfare. I didn't sign up for any of this. I did not ask for any of this. And I surely haven't done anything that terrible to ever be tortured like this. They say my daughter started this, Ashley Ray Forencam, that she started this. Because her dad told me once when I went up to Balsam Lake with him one day, and no, we didn't sleep together, Wendy Wagner. How rude. He told me that my daughter was pissing a lot of people off. Our daughter was pissing a lot of people off. I'm like, what do you mean? And I just dropped it because I was being destroyed at that time. That's when I was homeless. He just called me up, said, do you want to get out of here for a while? I'm like, sure. Well, we'll go up to my boss's house. I got to do some yard work. I'm like, okay, went up there. I slept in the top bunk. He slept in the bottom bunk. We watched the car show, went to bed. Got up, cleaned the yard the next day. Beautiful, beautiful place. Hopefully his 2 young children aren't getting tortured. That guy, Tom's old boss. He's got a son and a young daughter. Hopefully it's not happening to his children. And any normal person or any person, you don't even have to be normal, would hear me talk about this and they would be like, you're crazy. Like Rose Lind Hampy Ammerman, it used to be. Thomas is her maiden name. You know what she did? My ex-mother-in-law. We were very close. So on Messenger, I've forwarded lots of people like the Ackermans, Amy Smizer. My son, my daughter, I forward them things that are on TikTok about other people talking about being targeted. Talking about weaponry, talking about the Voice to Skull program. And she said, give it up. And I blocked her. I'm like, you know what? You are mean and you are rude. You cold-hearted. You witnessed it. You came over and stayed at my house for a week. That was real. That was really happening to me and still is. I don't get the holograms anymore. I used to get the holograms. Sorry, I look like crap. I don't really care. It's not a fashion show. Yeah, I used to get the holograms. Yep, the holograms. I used to think there was bears out in my yard. I was laying next to my then husband being destroyed. Laying next to him in bed. Being what it feels like to be electrocuted. But you know what that is? It's a broadcast. They told me Larry Ackerman does this. Whatever. Like you're going to sit there and say whose ever name it is. And then I sit there with the Voice of Skull program and they sit there and continuously scream. Continuously scream. First names, last names, it's your sister, it's your brother, it's Letty Lind, it's Jason and his Mary Lou. And then they sit there and play this little, I'm sorry, please come help me. And what they do is they have a whole bunch of different voices. So you can't pertainly even hear one. It's a screaming match. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. For 7 years, I've dealt with this. I gotta color my hair. 7 years. Why? Why? They say it's Dr. Joseph Lind from Wellia Healthcare. No, it's not. Jackson Bosson. No, it's not. You don't sit there and say names. Jessica Graber is her stepdad, Tony Hallen. No, it's not. What am I supposed to do? Sit here and I feel like I'm being burned. I feel like I am being burned. They sit there and they go like this on my feet with whatever. It hurts. For what? They burn my toes. I feel like my toes are being cut off. They make my muscles pop like popcorn. Those are not Charlie horses. I am very intelligent, and I know what a Charlie horse is. They'll sit there and destroy my right knee and just pound. Why? I can't even sleep with the induced D2K, which are induced dreams. Could you imagine sitting there in your own home in your own home, being destroyed for hours and hours and hours and hours. You have no idea who's doing it. You have no idea what it actually is and where it's coming from. Do you know that they have RF scanners? Now, I think a lot of electricians have them. And they can scan and see where this is coming from, where the signal is coming from, and what vicinity. It's all around me. It does not stop. I went to the store actually the other day because I was reading that book that I forwarded to a few people that I've read 27% of it, that you can use Nivea cream. Do you know that I got a whole jar of Nivea cream? You know, they sit there and talk about putting electrical tape between aluminum and then waterproof tape around it. And you can make it as big as you want to protect your heart. Do you mean to tell me that there's such evil out there that people have to try and protect their body from being attacked? Pretty much. But here I'm being told, and people are saying, oh, you're nuts. Nope. I'm being destroyed. I'm being tortured Hitler style. People all around the world are being destroyed. You know, people are actually what they call gang stalk, but this is a form of gang stalking. But people are like mobbing. They get stalked on ground. People will drive by and they'll go to the store that they usually frequently go to, and people will walk by and say something to trigger that person. Like the Voice to Skull program might be calling you, saying you're a murderer, or they're saying something like that, and then these people will walk by and use that word. And they get paid maybe $20 to just walk through there and just say this word. And they have no idea what they're even doing. You know, I have to sit here and just like my foot is just, it hurts. And my children have no idea. My son, I told him, I've told my ex-mother-in-law. I've put it all over. I was telling everybody, and Sue Hallen's like, oh, it's all those drugs you did. I'm like, what are you talking about? You shouldn't talk, Missy Pill Popper. That's what I heard. How would you like it if I went around and said that about you? If you ever came to me and said something like this, I would be like, what is going on? What do you mean? I would at least give you the benefit of the doubt to explain to me, what are you talking about? What is going on? What do you mean you're being tortured? How? I don't see any physical. Who is doing this to you? I found a bunch more papers. Since I've moved and I'm trying to get my place organized, but however, I worked like 30 some hours overtime last pay period and 30 some hours of overtime the pay period before, because I work hard. All of it. I have boxes laying everywhere. It's still packed. Because I'm tired. I am being mentally destroyed for over 2,700 days that I noticed this. So it's a constant screaming match by broadcast, which rides on anything. Piggyback. For a long time. Could you imagine how exhausted you would be mentally? being screamed at by different voices, 7 different voices, all riding all over each other and being tortured at the same time. It's called untouched or no touch torture. By broadcast. Do you know where broadcast comes from? Well, it's got to get to a satellite, and the satellite can come right down to your house. And you're the only one that can hear it. And it's just like the different frequencies is insane. They do different frequencies like they're on a mixer. Like they're doing it like I think Larry Ackerman does that. I seen a picture of him. He does something with, like the sound. Like the sound in a concert. I think Jackson Boston's got that in his basement in his little office. I think quite a few people might have them, but for all the years that I have been saying this, I don't know. I look on my YouTube now, and I don't know if they're blocking people to see my YouTube videos, but there's been like 3 views. Before, I was getting hundreds of views. And now that I go on live, I don't get crap, which is fine, because now it's the next step. And the next step is to start sending papers out and getting a booth at the Pine County Fair. And if I can't get a booth at the Pine County Fair, I sure can stand on the corner and hand flyers out to people. Hey, Karen. Hey, Karen. Yeah. Another thing, too, my own family, my sister, Carrie Brabeck, she's married to Jason Brabeck. They're from Wisconsin. She at least texted me back when I forwarded her something. Well, you called us all thieves. You know why I called? For one, I don't know how she could be a thief because she didn't have nothing to do with the money. Second of all, the reason why I said that is because I was being totally destroyed. Worse than I am now. I just lost my mom, then my dad. I'm homeless. My car blows up. And they wouldn't even help me by answer a question on their phone. I didn't know what a stamp medallion. I had no car. I'm trying to find this and do this and all this stuff and just talk to my brothers and sisters. Then they have the audacity to leave. Even my sister Teresa, shame on you, left to go down to Texas where my stepfather passed away. And they called me after they got out of the state of Minnesota to let me know. I could have rode with my sister Teresa down there. I could have flown. I could have gotten there. Nope. And then when they're there, they're calling me and my sister Carrie asking us what we want. It's like, what do you mean? Like, well, Mom, do you want all Mom's cat stuff, Carrie? Because my sister Carrie likes cats. So I'm going, okay, I didn't say anything. I wasn't asked anything. And you know what I got? I'm thankful. But you know what I got? A box of crap. Like that. All cat stuff, just dirty. I'm like, I don't even like cats. Why am I getting Mom's cat stuff? The only thing I did get was her Bible and some pictures of her. And I'm thankful for that. But it just doesn't add up how everything went about and how I got crap. That is rude and cruel. And what I mean by crap, I mean like really like garbage. I'm not joking. Actual garbage. Who would do that to someone? My mom and stepdad were at my house quite often. If my brothers and sisters knew that, it's none of my business if they did or didn't. They stop by my house all the time in Mora. Do they not think I seen my parents? Do they not know that I talk to my mom all the time on the phone? And then all of a sudden, my daughter's great friends with my mom? Well, last I heard, my daughter wanted my stepdad to die when he had open heart surgery. Because my mother called me up to tell me what my daughter said, her granddaughter, and I couldn't believe it when my stepdad had his open heart bypass. And it's just ridiculous. They sit there, and then I always hear, it's me. And then they decrease the frequency. They back it up a little bit. They tone it down. So, because then they know I'm going to try to strain to hear it, because that's what they do. They're trying to mind control me and control my mind. They're brain robbers. I'm getting to meet a lot of people, and some of these people are peace officers, detectives. I sure to hope and pray that it never happens to your family. This is not the government. It's not. 70% of what goes on is murder for hire. %70 of this is not the government. It is gang stalking. Because you weren't liked, or they just do it for fun. Envy, jealousy. And from every single person I have heard has been you see that light streak just come down? Go back a little bit and look at it. You can see them. I could just see it come straight down in front of my face. They say it's Jacob Riedel and the Riedels. Oh man, every single person I have ever known in my life in Kennebec County, and they've said it to my best friend Carla. Really? So all 225 people that were in my contacts that they've used over the past 7 years, every one of them is involved? None of them are involved, because you want to know why? They don't use first and last names. And if it was, they would have been here a long, long time ago. A long, long time ago. Oh. I am being tortured by no-touch torture. It is painful. It hurts. I don't just get little flutters on my eyelashes and stuff. They actually shoot my knee. They will crush my head. Like it feels like it's in a vice grip. My whole body feels like I'm in a vice grip. And then I can barely get up out of my bed sometimes. Do you really think my son is involved? Because if he was, his ass would have been over here, because he'd be mad. I am his mom. This stuff hurts. And what am I going to do? Call the police and say what? I've already been there. I've already reported this to Pine County, to the detective. I sat down and told him about this. I'm like, hey, do you know what gang stalking is? It's happening to me. It's like MK Ultra. No, hands free. Wirelessly. I've told Kennebec County deputies about this. I've told Dr. Terry Johnson about this, Tony Hallen about this, Jessica Graber, Tawny Kramer. Seven years ago. This is straight up torture. As I sit here now, I never get a break. They're either crushing my hand, crushing my feet, burning my cheeks, smashing my toes, choking me. Seriously. Doesn't anybody do their research anymore? Doesn't anybody like look up like, hey, what is this lady talking about? No touch torture. Voice to skull. Gang stalking, targeted individual. People, there's millions of people. Millions of people that are going through this. What did I ever do? What did I ever do? What did we ever do? It's painful. For 2,700 days it's been happening to me straight. 2,700 days that I noticed. You know how many years that is? 7. Like I said, if my son knew this was happening to me, he sure would be over here and he'd be mad. And I had to go through this with my ex-husband when I was still married, living in our own home. It's in my divorce papers. Mrs. Ammerman wants Mr. Ammerman to come to their marital home to experience what it feels like being electrocuted. But I'm still talking about it 7 years later. I have people that witness this. I have people that see me with marks on my face. Just red burn right here. And then it goes away. They notice it. They see this. They can see marks. Like it's almost like it's like circular. It's almost like it's a laser. But you can't see it. It's bizarre. And it's very painful, but they're making my stomach growl. They do that a lot too. That's their new thing. I think it's fun. Vibrate in my pubic area, all through my abdomen area. Almost like I got an Energized Bunny up there, inside. That's what it feels like. From the inside out, I start to vibrate. If I sit there and lay here and all of a sudden the next thing I'm laying here watching a movie and my foot just feels like wants to just blow up. Why? Didn't do nothing to it. No previous injuries. I've never broken a bone in my life. No previous injuries. I know what this is. It's not a pinched nerve. It's not, oh, you don't drink enough water or magnesium. I'm very healthy, and there's no reason for this. They do it to piss you off. They do it to torture you. Like my muscles go pop, 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 on the back of my calf. I'll sit there and do this. Or it'll do it one spot. Like that. What the heck is that? So you need to do your research, and I pray for you, who's ever doing this to me. I really pray for you in Jesus' name. I pray for you that you get your head out of the clouds and you straighten up. I ask my friends to even pray for you, for my abusers or abuser. What else do I got? That's what Jesus would do, right? Is to pray for you. And they say it's Levi's neighbors, Brian and what's her name? She works at the casino. They came into Dagus one day. She didn't. She goes, "Oh, we love you." And I'm looking at her. I'm like, why did she just say that? I haven't seen her. And she just walked in and got some chicken. And I was sitting there, I go, "Hey, how are you?" She goes, "Good. We love you." And I'm like going, oh my gosh. Her name is Kathy, I think. She lived next door to, so I was at 2350 230th Avenue. So she was 2348. Right next to me. Her husband owns right across from the sales barn. He owns that little company there. I think it's like a chemical company. Him and his brother. Yeah, bizarre. Because I remember before in the beginning, when I really didn't know what this was, I heard, "Brian, no, that's Karen." I know a lot of Brians. I know a lot of people. And they know me. And when they start going around and seeing me hand out flyers, someone's going to read it, and someone's eventually, because I don't think people are getting and seeing this stuff. I don't think people are even receiving my messenger stuff. Rose did, but nobody else responds. Like Denise asked, why wouldn't they respond back to me? Last time I seen her, she gave me a hug in Walmart. Why wouldn't she respond back to me and be concerned? I'm just trying to raise awareness that this really happens. And someday, if whoever's watching this and you have no clue what I'm talking about, and if it happens to you or one of your family members or one of your dear friends or somebody, if it happens, you're going to go, wow, that chick is right. Yeah, I am. That whole town and more totally defamed me and lied about me, saying I stole Katie's money, saying I stole Grant's gun, and then that I slept with Jeremy Graber? What? All in like 3 weeks. I'm going, what the frick is going on? It's called defamation of character, slander. They want to ruin your name and make you look like you're unstable. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. No. That never happened. A figure of authority, maybe. They'd be like, wow. Or maybe my best friend or my daughter, because they say they're doing it too. Or my ex-husband and his girlfriend, Danielle. Thank you, by the way, Danielle. Thank you very much, because you know what? If you wouldn't have been sleeping with my husband, I'd still be there. So I thank you, and I pray for you, because I've heard what you're going through. Good luck on the new house. Hope you find one. What are you going to do now? You ain't going to have your money. And if you ever threaten to stab my kid, Danielle. He told me you threatened to stab him. That's a terroristic threat. He should have called the cops on you. I spit in my son's face and I got domestic assault of a minor child. Do you believe that? Because he swore at me, called me an F and B? So I spit in my son's face instead of hit him. And I got thrown in jail for the weekend. For spitting in a minor kid's, my son's face for talking and swearing at me and calling me names. Yep, thrown in jail. So they could have a little paper trail and say, she's domestic abuse of a minor child. That's all they wanted. Right? But it got dismissed to a misdemeanor because it never happened. Yeah. So it's like, I don't beat my child, and no. But the town went around saying I did. Somebody did. Levi said it was his dad, L-Dub, that went around and said that I threatened to shoot my kid with a shotgun. Are you freaking kidding me? How am I even going to get the dang shotgun when it's locked in the safe and I didn't have the keys or the combination? Because that's where all the money was that he hid. And then if I was a good girl or if he wanted to show off, he would leave me $100 on top of the gun safe. I had to beg to get milk. It was a fight for me just to get milk. Can you believe that? So I hope y'all will do your research, and I hope you will pass this on. I am going to start sending out flyers to people. And if I don't get the booth at the fair, if they don't let me get the booth at the fair, then I'm going to stand at the fair and I'm going to hand out flyers to everybody. Because I've told a lot of people that I am an advocate on educating people about the New World Order and what people are doing to other people because they can't and they won't get caught. Remember before? There's no weapon. There's no evidence. It's just word of mouth. It's just me saying something. Or witnesses. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm just trying to advocate education for people and help because I don't know what else to do. I have to do something besides sit here and be tortured every single day. It hurts. It is very painful. So you guys have a good night. Go Trump. I'm gonna start a poll. I don't even know how to